Good morning, everyone. Jai from India. அப்படின்னு ஒரு the show starts like this. Daily 7 a.m. 100 days. Non-stop shows in English. How it happened? People take so many goals and start so many things. 10 days they do, 15 days they do, 20 days. Only few are unstoppable. We are going to meet the one and only Jai from India. So here we are 6 more people. Yoganathan from Talachangodu, and Uma Maheshwari from Finland, and Rema Madam from Chennai, and Kishanraj from Peru, and Bharat from Trichy, and Suji from UK. What we are going to discuss today? So many impacts from live, 5 p.m. live and 7 a.m. live. And what is different between international training and NLP training, and what is new? What we can learn from NLP. So many things are there to discuss. Within the hours, how much hour we can do, we are going to do. Today moderator is Yogeshwaran Ramanathan. So the show goes to Yogeshwaran Ramanathan. So Yogeshwaran Ramanathan, please.
Thank you, Kirti. Thank you so much. Kirti, am I audible?
Yes, always.
Cool, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today's session, it's going to be another one big session, and we are going to interact with Mr. Jayasekharan on an eve of completion of successful 100 live on 7 a.m. And this is how we start with each and every live. Good morning. This is Jay from India. Every day morning, 7 a.m. India time, we meet and discuss about few things in our life. Today, we are meeting again to discuss about another quote, and wishing you the best wishes for all your challenges. That's how we conclude an everyday 7 a.m. live. So we have him as an international celebrity of today's discussion, and we are going to interact with him today. And every meeting, each and every opportunity, Mr. Jayasekharan used to tell that it's an opportunity to help others. So I take this as an opportunity for all of us to take and help ourselves to extract the maximum out of Mr. Jayasekharan. That's what I see, that the session is going to be a very great session. We have all our international presence in this session, starting from Mr. Kishanraj from Peru, and we have Suji from Finland. Sorry, Suji from UK, and then we have Uma from Finland, and myself and Prema ma'am are from India, and we have global presence in this call across the globe. So as I say, it's an international event. We have Kishanraj is attending 1 a.m. from his time, and then it's UK, it's 7 a.m. in the morning, and Finland is 9 a.m. in the morning. In Singapore, it is 1 p.m. and India it is 11:30. So we are covering all the international time zones, and it's going to be another international event. I'm looking forward all of you to have a very interactive session today. And before I take it to Jay, I would like to have a couple of things. One is an announcement, and another one is a request. My request is, today's topic, we are going to have the path to inner transformation. That's the topic. So let us try to cover all our questions related to that path to inner reference as a frame of reference. So ideally, we can post all other questions if you have anything, but I would prefer to have the path to inner transformation as a frame of reference, so that any questions we post related to that, let's be comparatively related to that, and then along with the 7 p.m. live. And any industry questions like who is your most Hindi actress you like, who's the most you admire most, those kind of interesting questions, if you can ask still, but those questions will be answered offline, and I'll ensure that I'll get an answer from Jay. I'll post you offline. But let us make this live session as a very interactive session. That's one request to all of the audience in the call. And another one is an announcement. this session is going to be a complete English, starting from start to end, in the idea of having the conversation to reach the next level people on other than the regional language of Tamil and the international target of audience. So the target of audience, what we are focusing is on international people, and then anybody who still wanted to post their question, they wish to prefer that post in Tamil. Yes, you can very well post your questions in Tamil, and our moderating team will just help us in interacting and translating that to English. And another one, if you see that, yes, I have a question in Tamil, but I don't know how to type in Tamil, you can very well go ahead and type in Tanglish. So again, our team will help us in getting that question translated, and then we'll take it up. So with this note, I'll just get into the session, and I'll just like to ask my first question to Mr. Jayasekharan. Welcome, Jay.
Yes. Good morning, and nice to see all of you. And it's a wonderful thought process which has made us to meet like this. First, I appreciate that thought which has made us to meet. One from UK, one from Peru, one from Finland, and two from India. And there are so many viewers in FB. That's the thought itself. One thought is capable of doing magic. And this is what we have seen in the screen. Now, whatever we see in the screen, that's purely because of the magic of one thought. And I appreciate Yogeshwaran for the welcome address, because the address has a lot of energy in it. The moment you add energy with your speech, with anyone's speech, then it has the power of transforming people from one mode to another mode. So I really appreciate that energy in Yogeshwaran. Yes, I'm ready, good to go.
Thank you so much, Jay, for your address. And let me ask with my first question. I'll just hand it over to Prema ma'am for the next question. And then we'll have Krishnaraj, Uma, and Suji to follow up with the next questions. And then that's how we'll go to conclude the call. And in interim, whatever the question has been posted in YouTube, and then our team will consolidate, and then I'll post that on an interim basis. That's the plan for the day, Jay. All right. Let me ask the first question. Before that, cool. Before getting into the question, Jay, first thing, congratulations for achieving the 100 7 AM live. And second thing, thanks for that, because even myself and many of our team members has personally achieved many benefits out of the 7 AM. So my wishes to you to continue many more numbers, counting the number into 100 to 1000 and so on. And then my heartily thanks to you for making us to be part of the journey to go along with you as a co-traveler. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and your.
Sure. Thank you, Jay. Let me get into my first question. The topic which we have considered as a frame of reference for today's is paths to inner transformations. So here is my question. Can you detail us quickly about the inner transformation of Mr. Jayasekharan Pillai into Jason?
Okay. Honestly, the direct name is Jayasekharan. When I wanted to open an account in Facebook, I searched with my name, which is Jayasekharan, and I found there are so many Jayasekharans profile already available there. So Facebook rejected my name in that aspect. So then I thought, no, what else I can add? See, we are the products of our situations, whatever we face across around us. So what are all the next names come to my mind was Jayasekharan Kallakuruchi. That's my the place where I born and brought up. There was a profile, still the name was so lengthy. So I thought, I can think about something else. In that aspect, in that search, I searched for many different names, and surprisingly, I was unable to get any one ID. And there was a thought that brought me the name of the caste, that is Pillai. So then I put Jayasekharan Pillai, and it was available, and it was catchy also. I thought, no, Pillai is whichever country in future I am in connect with. So that person, for that person, it will be very easy for him or her to pronounce that name. In fact, for past 10 years, people used to call me Mr. Pillai in North Side, or else JSP, Jayasekharan Pillai, JSP. So this is how it all happened. Later, when I attended the program in Vijay TV, there is a local TV show where I was one of the participants, and there was a question: when you have a name, and when you are able to put that name with your name, your caste and community adding to that your name, I feel hurt. That was the sentiment, and it was real. Again, there was a thought in me which asked me, why should I have a name which hurts someone? Then I realized, no, I'm just taking away that name. Not only in the name, whatever the thought process I have with that small attachment with the caste, I think it's high time for me to take away from my regular lifestyle. Before that, if I meet someone with the name of Pillai, either that person or myself, we both, you can see that extra advantage. Oh, you also Pillai. Kind of that connect comes in. But after this show, I decided that, no, whoever it is, it's going to be human beings only. So then I changed my name into Zen. Zen is again a spontaneous name that came into my mind. I listened to my inner voice consciously. And there was an inner voice from my side that said, how about Zen? Zen is nothing but living in present. And for me, I guess it's very much apt to me, because living in present is the style what I follow for the past 10 to 12 years. Before that, I was more towards a person of living in past. After the course, I changed it into present and future. A kind of a new lifestyle, which is more towards present and future. It took long years for me to change it, because it's been with me for almost 20 plus years. So finally, I found Jayasekharan Zen seems to be an interesting name. And surprisingly, it was available in FB, the profile. So I thought, I think good to go. This is what I'm destined to be. So then I started. This is how the name changed. And also the inner transformation. So the inner transformation is, before that, I consider all human beings as beings, but still, when there is a name Pillai, I get attracted to it, or that person get attracted to me. For example, today morning YouTube live, Meenu Pillai. That was Meenu Pillai. If the old Jai was there, possibly I would have connected with her. So you are also Pillai. Or she possibly would have connected with me. You are also Pillai. Now that is gone. The transformation inside us, all are human beings. That's it. That's the kind of.
Yeah, thank you so much for the detailed explanation, Jay. So let's get into the interaction. And Prema ma'am, we can just start with you with your first question. To introduce Prema ma'am, she is a former commissioner of Tiruchirappalli Corporation, as well as she is a former registrar of Welltech University. I'm just glad to have her as part of today's session, despite of her busy schedule, and she has a lot of challenges, and then she just agreed to just be part of us. And then I would like to have Prema ma'am to start with her questions. Over to you, Prema ma'am.
Thank you, Yogeshwaran. Congrats, Jay sir, for completing the 100th session in 7 AM live.
Thank you.
As far as training programs are concerned, am I audible to you, sir?
Yes.
Perfect.
Whether these training programs in government service as well, I have undergone some trainings, and in the municipal side, local body side, they give some training. And definitely it changes the person from unknowing things to the certain level of the training helps them to get along with the work and move along with the people, personal relations and office accountancy or IT field, whatever training specific they achieve. Like that, I come to know that from your series of trainings, which I mean, not trainings actually, the programs which you have given. I have not understood your trainings, but actually it's looking like a training imparted. Many people have transformed themselves, and the examples which you could quote and which you pull them also during your speeches really inspires them, and they just come up. Really, it is a good service to the human, I mean, mankind. You are doing it. That too, during this endemic period.
Yes.
But for these sessions, definitely many people would have felt very bad. They would not have spent the time constructively. And in fact, there may be some worries.
Yes.
Yes.
Since it is in the phone, I am getting calls, Kriti. That's why.
Let it be. No problem at all. Yeah.
Sir, your training programs and your contact with people, some positive changes are happening.
Yeah, I am audible. Yes.
Okay. So the training programs, how you actually plan for it? We would like to know, because I have attended only the sessions about ZenLP, the purpose of ZenLP, and how you told 22 years before you were like this, and 22 years after how you have emerged. We see in the motivational books on motivational, as you said, opportunities, when it meets the preparedness, it is called luck. But many people think luck means at an instant they achieve these things, and all by reading the books for so much time, and we get acquainted with the facts, and then we understand, which you give just like a spoon feeding, you are giving or throwing all those many valuable ideas you are throwing. The way you should not get offended when somebody comments on you, how should you walk through, whether it should be ignored or if it is actually whether we should mend ourselves, these things and all you are prompting. Each of your speech, definitely it would have needed some preparation. How you do that, which I would like to know. Because if you take a book, definitely it takes, if we are a voracious leader also, it should get into your head, it takes minimum 3 or 4 days. Morning you are giving speech, you are motivating your trainers, then afternoon evening you are giving, again coming for 1 hour session, then odd and session, from the old people, our Kamla Mami, till our Nithilan, you are just inspiring them and making them, and you are changing their habits also. And really it is amazing to see today Nithilan pointing out, I want to know about this scientist uncle, you please tell about. So yes. Such an amazing person you are. Across any age, people are inspired by you, and you are doing such a service, and they are in their personal life also, they are improving themselves. This is the path of transformation, nothing else. I feel that way. So you may tell how you have evolved to this level, and what are the training programs available in ZenHelp, and how now you are attending you are going for the government programs also. Just you can brief about it.
Yeah. Fine. I will first part A, part B. I will divide your question into 2 parts. One is about ZenLP Academy, ZenLP training. The other one is here, 5 p.m. live presentation, 7 a.m. live presentation. First, let me complete this ZenLP Academy side. Corporate training is a different world. When I first, it was, I think, in Ahmedabad, when I was about to take my first training, I was little tensed because though I felt I am capable, but I was having a question, if I'm not performing well, what will happen? If I'm performing well, that's fine. But if I'm not performing well, what will happen? Then I instantly connected with my trainer in mail. I asked her, say, I'm fully capable. I have no questions about my abilities. Still, there is this question coming in, and making me a little tensed. So how should I go about on this? And then she replied me a wonderful answer. What she said is, Jay, when you go and conduct a program, and if the end result is fantastic, you can appreciate yourself saying that you know something. And that line is very, very carefully printed. You know something. So you can appreciate yourself by seeing the end result, which is coming very good. No, I think I know something. But if it is not coming very well, then you can say to yourself, I have to learn a lot. So only two possibilities are there, nothing else. You go, present, and if it comes very well, fantastic. If it is not coming very well, then you are supposed to learn. That's it. That almost for all these 23 years, that one line is still with me. Even today evening, if I'm coming for 5 p.m. live, this line will be hanging around inside my mind, saying that if I'm doing well, that's fine. If I'm not doing well, then I'm supposed to learn. Only two lines. ZenLP is, my name Zen, and my subject is NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is a study of excellence. Study of excellence in people. So when you asked me a question, how it is possible from Kamala Mami to Nithilan, old age to young age, I don't see people. I see structures in them. If I could say a little more elaborate, when I see Prema ma'am, I never see Prema ma'am. I never see the flesh and bones of Prema ma'am. That I am unable to see that structure. What I see as a structure is the learning part in you. That is invisible. That's your thinking. Your thinking is the one which I could see always. So when I see the thinking part of Kamala Mami and Nithilan, Sigamani Stephen Raj, Yogeshwaran, whomsoever, when I see that structure, thinking structure in them, and my subject knowledge, NLP, instantly asks me to make them conscious about their skills. They have skills, but they may not be conscious about it. The problem with people is not about skill. It is about they are not conscious about their skills. They have. In this world, everyone comes with skills, but only few are conscious, or I can say only few percentage. So my job is to make them conscious about their skills. That's it. I'm not developing any new skill. They have their own skill. This is the idea of ZenLP Academy. So when someone comes here, they will see their skills in the mirror available in ZenLP Academy and transform themselves, and they go back. Simple. It is as it. ZenLP Academy is a plain mirror, simple mirror. You come, you see yourself and go back. Go back with transformation. That's the only idea for ZenLP Academy. And here the major courses, practitioner, master practitioner, trainer training. That's making trainers. Corporate companies do have a complaint with me. We require more J's. We are not happy with one J, because in my trainings, I don't use PowerPoint presentation. I don't use any artificial instruments except whiteboard and 3 marker pens. I don't require anything. And even the sitting postures also would be in a U shape. No, I don't even keep those tables between myself and the participants. It's just like a conversation. I used to tell companies and I used to tell participants, I want only you, not the technical sides. I want you. You come, because you are the one going to transform. If I am good at PowerPoint presentation, then PowerPoint presentation will get improvement, not you and me. But if we two are interacting, either you or me or both of us will improve. So let's go on this way. So my trainings will be in this mode, and very, very rare kind of trainers are available in this mode. So corporate companies do have a tight schedules with me. So they constantly have a complaint that we have only one J. We want more J. So the very idea of ZenLP Academy is to create more trainers of this sort who can go with an empty hand and produce magics in the results. So that is one structure. The other structure is counseling. Counseling is individual or for a team or for a family. So individual counseling, you know very well, when pandemic situations like this or sudden unexpected death, business loss, so many things will make one person to shift from a happy state to sad state just in few hours. Just 24 hours before that person was excellent. And within 24 hours, this person is deciding to commit suicide. Now, what happened in this 24 hours? External situations, unexpected, loss, so many things. This is the exact area where counseling is required, where my presence will be there. And even in counseling also, there is a new way of counseling which I strongly believe I follow. One is, I never go for the templates, like you tell about yourself, and I will ask 20 questions, and then I will frame you as this is the disease you have, or this is the pattern in you, this is the problem with you. No, those things I will never ask. My straightaway question to the people who are in counseling, my first question is, tell me, how can I help you? And then the counseling begins. I don't know anything about them. I don't want to know anything about them. That's because even if, for example, you refer someone, I'm speaking about Prema Ma'am, you are referring someone for counseling and you start to speak something about them. This is the problem. That's why they are coming to counseling. I listen to that, but I will never keep it in my mind when I see them, because I consider this as a pre-constructed material. This affects the performance. I want to hear from horse mouth. So let them speak. So that's how the counseling part starts. So even for private people, individuals, they used to tell me, we want more counselors like this. Then I decided to go for counseling courses. These two are basics for ZenLP Academy. And then there are courses for purpose, like for children, uncovering their talents. This was actually done by, initiated by Vaibhav, Anu Ma'am, you might be knowing, Anu Ma'am's son. He asked me once, why always you are conducting training? Can't I do a training? I want to conduct a training. Then I decided, no, children are with huge potential. Why we are always thinking about telling them? How about listening to them? That's how the Trainer in a Kid program started. And then I see senior citizens with a lot of talents and expertise and experiences, and they keep quiet, which is not good. When senior citizens are quiet, the family is going to suffer. That's a line I would like to give for all family members. So I thought we can connect with senior citizens and we can make them to reach next level. And we have seen a lot of senior citizens evolving now. See, Jawahar Krishnan is coming in live for 1 minute and he does beautifully. One important quote, a big quote, he conveys that in 1 minute, which is a real surprise to me. 1 minute is huge. It requires a lot of effort to put that. So, and then teenage children. Teenage children are, they have all possibilities of shifting from one place to other place, at any time. One mood to other mood, one state to other state. So I thought teenage children programs. This is how ZenLP programs evolved. So ZenLP programs have, now the latest one was Wow Woman. Why Wow Woman? Because women, mostly women are projected as, they have ability, but they are supposed to wait for XYZ. They are supposed to wait for a male to say. A kind of, a lot of pre-projections about female. So I thought, no, they have a wow factor already and it has to be established instantly by themselves, not by XYZ. That's how Wow Woman started. So we normally, my idea of opening programs are, I see people, I look at their situations, demanding situations, and I draft my programs from those demanding situations. I see families suffered with a lot of misunderstandings. So we came up with a program called the entire family, that is family fingerprint. So the entire family comes and sits and exchange feedback. One full day it happens. Now one or 2 days, 3 days, depending on the size. So we did one program for Shankar and family. I think all their family members were there. 2 days we spent in a resort. And lot of feedbacks exchanged, lot of views, lot of perspectives, and lot of exercises. And then finally, such a treasure this family has. And where all those misunderstandings, all those things flew away. Because the moment we interact with each other with open mind, we find all those things. So this is how ZenLP evolves. Now let me come to this 5 p.m. live, 7 a.m. live. You said to complete a book, it takes 3 days, 4 days. Yes, you're right. But if you are consistently reading book for 20 plus years, and if the book has content and written beautifully, for me, a book will take 3 hours, 200 to 250 pages. It will take only 3 hours, maximum 3 hours or 4 hours. So if I want to speak about Graham Bell, and if I start to read a book about him, if I start to watch a video about him, everything I'm doing it in moving, except reading. Reading is the only place where I am supposed to sit and read, no other choice. Whereas video and listening to his speeches or listening to the speeches made on him, all those things I do when I go for daily walk. People ask me how you are able to do 20,000 steps every day. That holds the key actually. 4 hours I walk. For 4 hours I listen to a lot of videos about these people and take notes of those important points in my mind. I never take notes in paper. I take notes in my mind. That blink moment I call. When you listen to an audio, video, and when you read a book, some blink moments happen. So those blink moments are the spine of the 5 p.m. family, 5 p.m. live. That's the spine. So those blink moments. And then with those spine moments, I add moments. I add other moments and make it as a complete program. So possibly for every program, it takes around 4 hours to 5 hours effort. With my tight schedule, which starts from morning to night. Morning 5 o'clock, first session starts, and mostly the last session ends by 8:30 to 10, kind of. So in between, whenever I get time, I either read or watch video or listen to audio and understand the person's perspective about life and take those blink moments, add all those things in first, the spine I say, the structure, backbone we say, spine. So spine of 5 p.m. live presentation. And then I add important aspects. It is more like a planned one. When people listen from outside, they assume that it's a planned, well written, scriptured document, they say, but it is not. It is in my mind. A lot of inputs used to come. And when I start to speak, it evolves naturally and comes in. For data, numbers, and important names, I used to take notes because those to be conveyed properly. So I used to take notes. But once I entered the subject, I don't look at the notes. I straight away speak from here. So these two things I do differently. Corporate trainer, people who saw me inside the training hall, they are surprised to see me here in 5 p.m. live. They say, where is our Jay? The Jay with free hand, walk around. No, I use mostly, there are, even in corporate training, there is another classification I would like to say. One is inside training hall, and most of my trainings are outside training hall. I never use training halls. We go for a drive. We go to, I take the corporate team and we go to a mall, sit there. We understand, we see people, we interact with people. That's the kind of learning. So I hope I have answered your question. Let's see how.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Everything, but it is amazing to note that while addressing, we do address our people, our subordinates or our officers, some training programs, but they'll be of the same level.
Yeah.
A specific subject, if we take more or less the age group also, here you are attending to, apart from motivating like Prema Venkatesh and that madam from Coimbatore who is the tailoring as well as the savory shop, Pooja, who is attending to the social work in the schools, and now Jay Mary, and attending to the jokes of our Yogaraj also, and attending to Yogeshwaran remarks and the constructive ideas given, and Kavita, Priya, you, without getting disturbed, your focus, what you have wanted to deliver, you are delivering, and attending to all these things without getting any distraction. That's really amazing. And it transformed, like Kamala Mami, which Anu is telling, 2 hours she sit and did puja so far. Now she is walking and doing the puja. So you have brought so much transformation in many people. May God bless you. I answered. Thank you.
One line I would like to add before Yogeshwaran calls the next person. When I said to you that line, I see structures, not people. I see structure in them. So for me, Nithilan is a structure. Kamala Mami is a structure. Yar is a structure. Priya Rajiv is a structure. So what is the structure in them that requires something for them so that they reach next level? If I start to associate with Nithilan, the person, then I will be distracted. If I start to associate with Nithilan, the structure, I will never get distracted. So if you don't want to get distracted from anything, start to relate with people's structure. Structure means their thinking, their language, their behavior, where they are giving you some values, where they are actually want to contribute you. If you start to look at those things, then possibly you will miss all these externally world, the appearance, the status, all these things coming now. So those things you can easily take off and focus fully on them. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Yogesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Prema ma'am. So probably before I get into the next person, Krishnaraj, please be ready. In the meanwhile, we have some few questions been posted by the listeners from the YouTube, and Jay, I will just pick up a couple of questions for the benefit of time. There are a lot more questions coming in. What I will do, I'll just pick up a couple of questions so that we can quickly give an answer.
One minute, Yogeshwaran. Knowingly or unknowingly, Prema ma'am has uncovered the essence of ZNLP Academy and 5 PM Live, all those things. So hereafter, we may not be requiring bigger explanations. Now we can ask questions and instant answers will be quick.
Yep, exactly. So what I will do, right, rather than taking each and every questions, I'll try to club as much as possible, and you can just answer. Most of the things would have been already answered. So for since you are taking the next one, try to answer, and then we can take the next level. And then I'll prompt Krishnaraj. Krishnaraj, please be ready. I'm just getting into the questions. There was first question by Asha Bhagiraj. The question is, what is the one thing helps you to maintain consistency on a daily basis? That's the question number one. And question number two is from Priya Raju. And the question is it really possible to change a person 100%? That is completely opposite transformation. These are the two questions from Asha Bhagiraj and Priya Raju. You can just start with your answers, Jay.
I will come to the second question first. Is it really possible to change a person 100%? 100% is always not a possibility. Sorry, 100% is at any time, it is not a possibility. Never ever expect 100% transformation. This is the disease most of the people get affected. When there is a change, the change would be even 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever it is. That's enough. What is required, that will be done. You can't expect someone to change 100%. That is highly, highly, highly impossible. What is possible is, what is the change that is required for the outcome that will be done. So I don't see 100% change. I agree with her. 100% change will never happen. Change happens for the purpose. That's it. And first question, you said consistency. Consistency is, I strongly believe, I would like to take 1 minute here to explain it a little in depth. If you want to support people, and if you want to present 5 p.m. live, there are two categories now, what I wanted to tell you. If you want to present 5 p.m. live, then you may not get consistency, because after 5, after 10, after 15, you will be satisfied. Or you will be having a question, so what now? I have done it. But if you want to support people, you will be never stopped, because the demands are huge. People are eagerly waiting for someone who can support them. So they will constantly throw challenges at you. See, today morning, what happened? Nithilan asked me, can you speak about Stephen Hawking? So now the next live is set. 2 days before, someone asked me, can you speak about Thomas Alva Edison? So the next live is set. A few weeks before, someone asked me, can you speak about Ilayaraja? So now people will be always in demand. They create demand for you. If you want to support people, you will be consistent in doing whatever you want to do. So when you take diet, you may not be consistent. When you take diet to support people, you change, and by changing that, you can support people. You will be consistent because people are watching you. So that's the answer.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. I'll just have another one question before we move on to Krishna Raj. I'll club the questions again. There was a question from Imrana and there was a question from Satish. I'll club both those two questions. Question from Imrana: what kind of transformation which is required on the educational field? And as a sub question, she is asking about family counseling, career counseling, corporate counseling. Which group of people need more help? This is a question from Imrana, question number 1. And question number 2, the same relation from Satish. Which age group is tough to try? These are two questions, Jay. Both of you.
I will come to the first question. Can you repeat that question, the first one?
Sure. What kind of transformation which is required in educational field?
Yeah, fine. See, the education setup itself, we have a thought process now that the teacher will teach the child. Correct? The teacher will teach the child. Wrong. According to me, wrong. I would suggest learn from children. Learn from children. Is there a teacher will have opinions about human race, caste, community, status, ego, so many things. And this lady or this man going to teach a child which doesn't have anything. Who has to learn? Who has to learn? That kid, that kid it doesn't have anything about all these things. No, the kid sees another kid as kid. The child sees another child as child. Oh, that's it. But we stamp people and we go and pollute them. Actually, we pollute them in the name of education. And we call that as a skill. Wrong. You can't impart any skill in them. Skills are already there. It is in the DNA. You can shape them. You can make them self-realize. That's what you are supposed to do. As a teacher, you are supposed to do. You just go and make them self-realize about their skills. That's it. So I would suggest learn from them and make those children to stand in front of the classrooms and teachers sitting in the back, apart from teaching the subject. Go back and sit and make every class a child to come in the front and the teacher sits and tell the world or tell the classroom that this child has this skill inbuilt in her or in him. This is to be done in every class so that no children will blossom naturally. They don't require any teachers. They require teachers only for the subject, to learn something new.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Go ahead with the second.
There is a second question you have.
Please go ahead with the second question. Yeah, the question is, which kind of age group is tough to train? That's one. And then family counseling, career counseling, and corporate counseling. Which group of people need more help?
I strongly sense corporate counseling needs more help, because in search of finance, they forget to live with humanity. So that's where all arrogance happens, according to me. Family is fine. Family is just misunderstanding. But corporate, even to the level of killing other person, to the level of that much happening in corporate world. So that's what I understand. And you are speaking about which age is good for counseling or training, whatever.
Tough to train.
Yeah. My point is, it is not about age category. You will be surprised with this answer. You can train an uneducated easily, because that person says, I don't know, tell me, I will learn. The problem with training, tough to trainers, the people who assumes that they know everything, educated. That's where the problem comes in. Mostly the top level of any companies, they assume that they know everything. And when we train them, most of their answers would be from the zone of, I know this. And later they themselves will say, sorry, I should not have said that answer. But initially, it used to be a tough time with them.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. So with this, we'll park the questions from the audience, and then we'll just jump back to Krishnaraj. He has been waiting for all over the night. So Krishnaraj, over to you. So Krishnaraj is from Peru. It's almost 1:45 a.m. In the early morning stage for Krishnaraj. So I apologize for keeping you awake for all the way over the night, Krishnaraj. So over to you. You can just start your interaction with Jay.
Thank you, Yogesh. Path to inner transformations.
Yes.
That's the topic today. But why a question mark here? It's not a statement.
Yes.
Is it religious or spiritual? It could be any viewpoint. First of all, I would like to thank all of you present here and congratulate Jay on his 100th day, 7 a.m. live, and the family too. So what is a transformation? When we imagine a picture of transformation, whatever it may be, we see in the front many health and fitness choices, come across a six-pack or a rocky bicep, maybe. And we wonder, how did that happen to a person and so fast? With a magic pill? No, definitely not. Then we start appreciating those persons, the dedication of that person, and move on with our normal life, right? Imagine if you could make that level of transformation every few months or a year or your entire life. I am not mentioning just about the physical looks, right? It's about the internal character or attitude, succeeding in different aspects. Maybe what's the spark? What's the spark here? It may be a word, a phrase or a sentence, even a question, or just a mocking comment on you, maybe. That's how I had a blind date with Jay one day. But the funny thing happened online. Like anyone in the social media, it's now about the 7 a.m. live. You know, at least to mention, Jay has provoked us with 99 questions.
Yes.
Today, the 100th day, there wasn't a question. So let me mention one of them. What is the percentage of your happiness? One of the sessions. So that's the impact that made me ask myself, do I care about the happiness in ourselves, in our family, in the society, anywhere? And it started cooking something inside myself. There you go, the inner transformation. There you go. The vivid question, have I achieved something there? Yes, I have achieved to learn something. So learning is the ongoing process. So what I learned here is that the transformation at your inner level ripples outwards. Those ripples cause definitely enough effects on you, your family, your society. When you feel you're happy, you make the ripples and make everyone happy. So the percentage 40 increases one by one, and maybe you can reach your goal, the ultimate, maybe 50 to 60 or 70%, maybe. So thank you in this aspect, provoking every day with the questions, Jay. So my question for you today, maybe, I don't know, you have answered it already. Maybe I can rephrase it. What advice would you give to Jay, age 22?
Okay, if I go back.
Yes.
Okay, if that is the case, never take training, never become a trainer. Go and travel and enjoy this world.
Is it so simple?
Yeah. The training is, see, it's giving me enormous energy, and I'm so happy to do this. And at the same time, I want to tell you, if you want to become a trainer, of course, you are getting a lot of blessings from many people. Your family is happy. You are so energetic. Everything is fine. But you should be, it is like walking on the, slim thread. Because every day, minimum 6 or 7 people throw their side negative aspects of life on me. And I'm supposed to listen to everything with a balanced state of mind. See, whatever is said and done, I'm a human being. When someone explains about their difficulties, for example, husband and wife fights, and husband does something which is not at all acceptable. And this lady tells me, and she sheds tears in front of me. Sitting in front of her without tears, still I have pain inside, but still without tears, sitting in, it's more like a robotic state, and it demands more energy from you. So towards the end of the day, it is as if 50% of my energy has been taken away, blown out. And when I go back to bed, it is almost like 40-30% Jay. And I sleep, get back my energy. Next day morning, 5 o'clock, I meet the first person again with the problems. So it's very demanding. At the same time, this is the most precious service one can do for humanity on this earth, because you are clearing the thoughts so that actions will be perfect. So you are working with thoughts. You are not working with companies. You are not working with people. You are not working with families. You are working with their thoughts. Once you clear thoughts, then everything will be fantastic. I'm very, very happily doing this. But if I have a choice of going back to 22, which is not at all possible, but still going back to 22 and change something about myself, I would love to be a traveler and writer, reader, enjoy this world by traveling around. Maybe a monk from a different style. Through books, possibly I would have affected people.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
That's a nice question.
Yeah, thanks for the detailed explanation. So probably, so thank you, Krishnaraj. Jay, we have one more question from the YouTube, so I'll just go with that question. And before that, I would like to ask one question from my side, Jay. That question is related to uniqueness in your training.
Yes.
Okay. Let me take an example. I visited a small shop of one of my friends. So that's a very small table. He has keeping, and then he have a lot of documents. He just do the logistics. He have a lot of documents, and the paperwork has been keep on coming. There are some set of papers coming in, and he keeps signing, and then he sending that out. And people, there was no confusion at all. But I see a lot of papers, but the papers go smoothly. But then I realized he followed a very simple trick. He haven't used anything. He haven't used all the process setup and all those things. He simply used two things. What he have used was the D-size battery, the Nippo battery. You would have seen the battery, the D-size battery which used in the torchlight, right?
Yes.
So he got one on red color battery, one on the blue color battery. He never used anything on his table. So whatever that comes in, he keeps that under the red one. Whatever it is ready, he keeps it under the blue, he completes. So that the other, his colleagues comes in, he sees that, okay, I'm going to take the blue one. So red is not ready. So that was a very interesting moment. I used that as an example in when I was doing my corporate training to my fellow colleagues. I explained. So it doesn't matter what's the asset you have, what's the property you have. You don't need to wait for bigger things. You don't need to go for the star hotels. Most of the corporate companies, this I wanted to point out here. Most of the corporate companies goes for a star hotel and pay 90% of the cost for the whole entire training to the cost and food for everything. And only 10% goes to the company, and the trainer hardly get 1 or 2%.
Yes.
But the people think that if I pay more cost, then I'm going to get a quality training. Right? That perspective, I see that's a wrong perspective. That was the question I would like to ask here is, how did you decide the training uniqueness which you have started following? There might be some turning point where you should realize that, okay, I'm not going to follow any PPT. I'm not going to follow any traditional methods. I'm going to follow my own unique method of training by considering the assets which is going to be coming out of the person or participant which I'm going to interact. You never do the homework. You never go. You identify a structure, you follow that. Can you please explain that?
I got your question. When I wanted to become a trainer, I attended many trainers training programs. And most of them said to me, you can do this. And then there will be a lot of exercises. We are supposed to follow those through exercises. And, finally, we assume that I am not good. This trainer is fantastic. All those things. And when they say, you can do this, I also say, I can do this. Day 1, I can do this. Day 2, I can do this. Day 3 or 4, I can do this. Day 7, no, I can't do this. Because that's like external effort thrown on me inside training hall. So it was not working unless I meet my trainer. This lady is so excellent. I can give you a sample and you will be surprised. When I went inside the hall, there was an old lady outside the hall standing and offering coffee to all of us. And we had coffee and then we went in. We were looking for the trainer. Actually the training was about to begin by 10 and it was 10:30. Still the trainer wasn't there. She was not available there. So we were waiting. And then suddenly one among us stood and came in front of us and then said, I am the trainer. Oh, I was taken back because the lady who offered coffee was the trainer. With all her international experience, she was offering coffee because at the time of taking coffee, we were natural. The moment we came inside the hall, we become so, that constructed, coated, suited, booted, all those things. So her first line was, I want to see you all like how you were when we were giving and taking coffee. Then the entire hall was suddenly become so relaxed, so casual, and everyone started to look at each other and smile. Then that was the exact moment I decided she is going to be my trainer and this is going to be my style. And then for the entire my training life, I never, so far, I haven't taken any single piece of paper or any notes, anything else. Just I go there. That's purely because of this one moment. And then people, when I came back to India, initially there was a resistance because as you said, when I go to corporate companies, the first question they ask is table, chair, everything. No, they set up the hall. And the moment I went in, I used to tell them, take away all these things. What? No, take away all these things. All I want is chairs in U-shape. I don't want the LCD projector, monitors, nothing else. What? Then what you are going to do? No, let's see what we are going to do. So that's the kind of training style I started. And it was initially people were resisting to it. But later they realized that the importance of having it. And nowadays it's becoming a benchmark. All those things. People have
exactly, Jay. That's what I was about to say. It's become a benchmark. Your uniqueness has become a benchmark. In fact, most of us, I'm personally admired to your personally the way of coaching you. Thanks, Jay. Okay, before we get into Uma Ramji, Uma, please be ready. I'll just complete one question from Meena Anil Kumar, which has been posted from YouTube, and then I'll just hand it over to Meena. Uma. The question from Meena Anil Kumar is, Jay, if you always see a pattern unstructured in people, will the compassion and empathy towards humanity diminish? That's the question.
I first would like to understand that question. When I see structure in them, this is what she says.
Okay, let me repeat the question. If you always see pattern unstructured in people, will the compassion and empathy towards humanity will diminish?
One thing I want to add, you told already, no? You always see the structure and pattern from people, not age or not gender or not anything. Yes. So according to that, the question rises.
She asks whether it is the humanity and whatever.
Empathy.
That is getting diminished, she says.
Yeah.
No, I strongly reverse that. That is getting increased actually. When you see structure, you are supporting people. By supporting people, the humanity and empathy actually grows high. Take 5 PM family as an example. I haven't met many of them. I haven't met, I don't know any of them. Jay Mary Madam, I haven't met. Rukmani Madam, I don't know. There are so many people. I haven't seen them, but I have seen their structures. And I want to support them in that structure, the thinking patterns. So actually, the humanity and the empathy grows. And if we have taken the question in a wrong way, understood it wrong way, and answered wrong way, she can come back with the reframed question. I can answer her again.
Sure. Thank you, Jay. There was another question from Priya Rauji in follow-up to the same topic. The question is, does looking patterns in people and studying the patterns made you more rigid person? How do you connect with people if constantly looking at patterns? That's the question.
I would like to say one thing to people because this is being a lot of times asked with me. Corporate people initially asked, now they have understood. When I observe people and when I observe their structures, I may look rigid, or I may look strong, or I may look little, little orthodox or different, whatever. But basically, I'm a fun-loving person. When you travel with me, when you come off the screen, we can understand how much fun-loving I am. But, when you read structure, you are supposed to be serious. No, that's life. When I see Yogeshwaran and thinking of Yogeshwaran, I am supposed to study it seriously because I'm going to change that. If I'm not doing, it is more like, a doctor doing operation in the heart. It's more like that because the very essence of you is thinking. I see that. and I'm going to bring a change there, I'm supposed to be serious. I can't play around with your thinking. I can play around with my thinking. I can't play around with your thinking. Your thinking is your world. I should not disturb it. I should shape it. I should make you self-realize about your thinking. So initially I may look like rigid or possibly observant or possibly muted, not speaking much, all those things. But once that study period is over, then you can find, Jay, the real person who he is. Come with me once for a drive. No, that person will understand who am I.
Yep, got it. So I think most of the people have seen one side of the face, so probably there is another dimension which is waiting, and which is might be waiting for the Thiravula.
Menu is not the meal.
Got it.
Never see menu and decide meal. Meal is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. People will ask when we will get the meal.
when we are together. No, next time. Yeah.
Good. So we'll park the YouTube question for a moment, and there are a couple more questions. I'm going to park that, and I'm going to invite Uma Ramji. Uma is from Finland. Probably Uma, welcoming you. You can just post your questions, and then you can start your interaction with Jay now. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, and again, congrats, Jay sir, for one more achievement. As Krishnaraj sir was telling, I am also one among them who got the spark from your Facebook page, and then I had the opportunity, I am getting the opportunity of traveling with you and getting the inner transformation. And now I feel happy by being an Indian, but I am representing, or I am talking from Finland, where also like part of my life has been. And I was under the impression that we have the lifestyle of the country decides the inner transformation of the person, and also it has a main impact. But after being here, where in Finland, as many of us know, is the land of thousands lake, and it is a best country to live in, and you have it is under the happiest, in the list of happiest country in the world, with great opportunities and great advancements and everything. And still I see here also that psychological and other issues are being addressed, and people still come across. So like, it's not that I understood the practical line, like the grass on the other side is always green. So if I happen to be a NLP trainer one day, then I want to know with people here who are real nature lovers and they don't have any spiritual or faith or trust on something what we believe as an Asian. What are the challenges I would be facing and how I should get myself ready to help someone in the society where I have been for long?
Beautiful question. See, there is a conception or misconception, whatever. Asian people, they have a lot of problems. Europeans, they have less problems. And Americans, they don't have problems, kind of. Suicidal rate is high in America. So I would like to go ahead with your question. Now the answer comes. See, yes, of course, they are nature lovers, Finland. They live a peaceful life, everything is fine. But there are two things that are unavoidable in anyone's life. One is family, the other one is business. These two things are very, very important. And two things always have the edge of creating problems or misunderstanding. When you do a business, you are supposed to face competition. And then at the time of competition, either you may miss your business or you may get unexpected business. In both sides, you may miss your balance. So those people are the one who will be looking for you. And inside family, when they miss their understanding and they tend to go, do all other nonsense, then those are the people who would be looking for your support. So whether it is Finland or entire Europe, the most common thing is family and business. These two aspects. And then the third one comes, which is a secret to you. personal discipline. You know, whomsoever it is, if the person misses his or her discipline, then that person would be looking for you because they have lost the track. They are off the track now. So I can tell you from a different perspective, teenage children, they tend to go for the non-disciplinary area, and they do a lot of mistakes, and they go for addiction, they go for all bad habits. They miss their life by being in the off the track methodologies. So that is where your expertise comes in, taking back them to the regular life and aligning them towards their goals. So you will be required most in European countries and in America.
Thank you, sir. So adding to that, so if I want to study the structure of the person then as an individual, then how drastic is the structure difference I can expect by being a person from different nationalities? Or is it like we are made of, all are made of blood and flesh, and so the patterns also like it is unique?
Every structure is unique.
What should I expect?
Every structure is unique. There are no generalization. Premamma is different. Sujita is different. Yogeshwaran is different. Krishnaraj is different. You are different. Kirti is different. Bharat Srini is different. All the viewers watching this, everyone is different. So you are supposed to put effort for every structure. To read every structure, you are supposed to put. You can't generalize. You can't compartmentalize. You can't bracket anything into anything. That's where you are becoming so special, because every time you see a person with a different note, not with the previous accumulation of expertise. So where your experience comes in? Your experience comes in reading so many structures, not in classifying, in reading so many structures. So you know how to read a structure quick. That's where your expertise comes in the future. I hope you got the answer.
Yeah, sure. So what type of help or how then being a ZenLPN will help me to overlook this than from being a person who just tries to get knowledge through.
Yeah, for example, I would like to say something. When someone asked here, I think Krishnaraj asked, what change you would like to do if you go back to 22? No, he asked. So for a normal person, when he sees that, the instant response will be curiosity. Now, what kind of answer Jay will give? That's the curiosity. So we can see that smile in their faces. That's a normal reaction. But if you're reading a structure, if I read Krishnaraj's structure, so this person wants to change few of his decisions he made in his past life, which disturbs him even now. That's one of his patterns, one of his structure. That is what pulls him to ask this question to another person. You understand now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little depth what I'm saying, but still you can understand. So yeah. When we are hurt or when we are happy, we reflect those things with others and we ask questions to them. So Krishnaraj may have two past experiences. One, he would like to go back and change, or he possibly must be very happy that he made the decision at that time. There are two possibilities. So I guess that's how we start to read everyone. So normal person will think that as a curious answer. That's it. For him, it's okay, there is an answer, over. But for a ZenLPN, it's a study. It's an understanding. It's a way of coding a thought. So that's where. You are now doing practitioner. When you complete masters and trainer training, you will come to know what is all this about. You have answers for all these questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I will give the floor to one of my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Uma. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jay. So probably we'll just, before getting into Suchi, we have one more question from the YouTube, and then I'll just ask, and then I'll hand it over to Suchi. Yeah. Jay, the question from Bhanumati Krishnan is, you have been interacting with many people. Among them, you have been interacting with the engineering students as well. So the question is, what is a good moment? Have you had any good moments with students when you're taking? That's the question from Bhanumati. In line to that, I would like to top up that question with my question. When you become an early bird, the early bird will get always yelled at. If you are trying to do something different which was not implemented earlier, and you are doing an early bird, by implementing that, you will not be getting a welcoming note. You'll be always yelled. So that's the past generation process. But when you do the training for the younger generation, particularly the students, how do they receive? Do they still see that early bird approach as another factor which is taking them into the different direction, or you see the positive note or positive welcoming side from the students? You can elaborate that, Jay.
Okay. Being with younger generation, particularly in the mode of training, is one of the finest thing I would love to have. And somehow, I am little surprised to hear comments that young students are not listening. Wrong. You don't know how to teach them. First, you accept that. Why you are putting your blame on them? No, they are fantastic listeners. Most of the young generations, they listen properly if you present well and if you present unique. If you are different, they would like to take a note of you. There are many, I can say, I think from Nagarkovil, the dead end of Tamil Nadu, the southern starting point of India, I can say. So that place, one person, he attended one of my sessions in his college days. He told me that he wanted to become a trainer there itself, in the stage itself. And then after 2 years, he came back and said, sir, now I have completed all these courses and now I wanted to become a trainer. So guide me. So it is not that young generations are not towards this. No, they are very much happy to take training as a course. And they are very much happy to receive trainers if they have unique differences in them. If they are a very generalized, quoted, suited, booted trainers, then they hate. And if the mode is more of in a, what you say, preaching mode, they hate.
Got it, Jay. Thank you for the clarity. Sujita, now over to you. So Sujita is from UK. So this who is going to be joining us. Sujita, welcoming you. You can just take forward your interaction with Jay now.
Thank you, Yogeshwaran sir. And this is my first speech in public. And thanks for sharing platform with you all. And thank you for Jay sir completing 100 days. And we expecting your 150th day in 5 p.m. also. Yeah. Like you given us so many invaluable information for the younger generation. You are the inspiration for all of the, like, not a particular group of people. You are giving inspiration for a group of like different categories, like old people or a family or children. Even my son loves to hear your way of speaking. He thinks like uncle is telling some stories. He is just 7, but even he have language barrier. He's born and brought up here, but still he can connect with you. When he had a feedback session with you in the pre-teen program, he watched all this, how he was talking after that, how uncle can follow this without taking sugar. And he said, I will follow that as much as. And you gave inspiration for as a whole family. It can't be done with just an straight away, like because you get a long practice in that. So based on that, what like it's not one person, it's everybody. Like even as I am, I really amazed when I try to see your diet journey or conducting different sessions, how where you can get all kind of these ideas. I really amazed. And whenever I listen, I have something in my head or what I'm going to happen. Like you come up with some idea. Like you say always the good thing about when you want something in yourself, you don't want to go anywhere. The universe will bring to you. I really, I felt it. because when it's the lockdown happened, I'm thinking what I'm going to, because I'm always curious to learn, because I'm working as a teacher here. I'm going to shape this younger generation. I want to be something unique. I don't want to be all normal teachers, whoever, because the way you teach them, when always you say the word role modeling the excellence, that when it comes with you, then the children will learn. We are in a very crucial stage now, because the children they can take good also quick, bad also quick. So where you are changing yourself, so there you want to prove your uniqueness. I always hear, like, last 7 years I'm in this field, but still keep on learning, because here you want to follow because for this age till 5 they have special curriculum, but not any books, not anything else. Based on the role play, other things, they have 7 areas to connect with your child. So that give you the strong base. So how you can transform. So as a inspiration of you, what kind of advice, not advice, I say, like a kind of suggestion you can give it to children, especially my focus is more children. Here, I more travel with them. So what kind of inspiration you can give them? Like, because our pattern, what pattern is Indian pattern is, you just go education, finish this, 12 plus, 3 plus, then work. That's it. But as Indian pattern, what we can give, you can just be a traveler, or you can hear the people till they study, till A levels they call, like our +2, but they think they can take break. They own themselves and they can go back. Even some people, when I visit museums, they just sitting down and watching the art, everything. But it's not like in our country. So what is the suggestion, or where we need to start, need to change that mindset, and how is going to be change our next generation in India, and how we can transform the children, whoever even studies in government schools, how we can, I'm a government school student, even I'm studied in English, not Tamil medium, but as an inspiration for all, we can give them confidence. You can do that. We want to give that confidence. So where we need to start that, and where we can connect. And one thing, I have further questions. If you answer this, I will continue that.
Yeah, good question it is. I will give you a very simple 2-step formula or answer or a procedure, which will help you, which will help all teachers and parents and the society to inspire next generation, that children. My first step is, whenever you see good things around you, whatever that is, whenever you see, you see a person helping an old man, this is a good thing happening, correct? A person helping an old man, that's a good thing happening. So whenever you see a good thing, my instant reaction is, my instant question here is, where I am going to share this good thing, where, in which place, to whom I'm going to share this. That is my first question. But the second question is very important. Before doing this, before sharing this, am I doing this? Am I supporting anyone? Have I supported any old person so far? If not, what I do, I first do that and then share this experience, where you become an inspiration for next generation. Next generation will look at you. Why am I doing this is important. Why that second question is important is, when you share an experience as an experience, then it never infects you. It's just an information. But when you share an experience after your experience, this is what called as an inspiration. So whatever you want to tell them, when you see something, you see someone, for example, you go to a departmental store and you were finding it trouble, to select something, and someone comes from that departmental store and supporting you. and you get what you want and come out. You say thanks and come out. So what is the good thing happened there? One person came and supported you. So if you want to say this to young children, young generation, first you do the support to someone first. You become that experience and then share that experience. And that inspires people huge. I haven't seen Nithilan. I haven't seen many of our people. But still, why this is getting inspiration level, why this information, whatever I share, go as an inspiration level is purely because I follow that first. I understand what it is. Then only I share. And if I'm not following, there are many information which I haven't shared because I haven't followed. If I'm not following, I will never share. I have lot of good experiences to be shared, but still I keep those things as pending because I haven't mastered it. I want to master it first, to share that experience as my experience, not just an experience. So if we start to follow this, then our younger generation, next generation will be perfectly all right. Perfectly all right, all over the world. That's only one stage rule, 2 steps. 1 step, whenever you see good things, assume that I'm going to share it. Second thing, am I doing this? No, first do it. You may not be able to do it in a bigger level. You see a VIP doing social service for 1 lakh rupees. It doesn't mean that you are supposed to do for 1 lakh rupees and then only you can share that. No, you do for 1,000 rupees. No, whatever that is possible for you, you do it and you experience it and then share it. That inspires, that transforms the entire world. So that's my answer.
Yeah, that's a fantastic answer.
She has one more question, I guess.
One more question. Please go ahead, Sujita. Please go ahead.
Thanks for that, sir. Thanks for the valuable answer. And other thing is, I learned from you like how to take it as a feedback and how the others say not be judged. Because I always have, oh, maybe I don't have any good language because here they have different slangs, this, that. But I felt like that after hearing, why can't be, because after that I felt very confident and I said I can do it, because when you don't have knowledge, like you want to talk around like that. But when you have knowledge about particular topic, if you give me like how to support a child and ask me anything, I'll talk, go on and on. But when there is, you said you don't worry about your strength, just worry about your uniqueness. What you have, just go on that. So that's really helpful for that. But this question, I thought I want to get it from someone, but I thought you are the apt person. What is the best lesson you learned from the nature?
The basic nature is, it's huge and you are first lesson. Nature is always, you stand in front of and you become negligible. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, Jay, you were interrupting. Now you are okay. Please proceed.
Hence it was interruption. Is it fine?
Please proceed.
Now I will answer. Nature is so huge, so huge. In front of nature, you become negligible. It deletes your ego. That's the first basic lesson you can collect from nature. You go to a mountain, you suddenly become negligible because mountain is so big, sea very big, rivers very big. So you just stand in front of them and you become negligible, erase your ego and come back as a normal person. Now that's very important. You stand in rain. Rain is huge and you become negligible. So that's why I love nature. Whenever time permits, I go and delete my ego and come back again as fresh. That's the lesson from nature. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. So Sujit, thank you so much for the interaction. So with this, we are just at the conclusion stage of our today's session. So probably Jay, I'll just pose the final question of the session, and then we'll just get into the wrap up. So the question is again related to the topic what we have chosen at the initial stage, paths to the inner transformations. So in line to that, I would like to wrap up with the final question in the same topic. When we compare the transformation with the digital transformation, right? So considering the COVID situation and the new normal situation and things are happening, everything is trying to be digitalized. We see people who buy vegetables and the fish, even on the street vendors, they started using the digitalization through Google Pay. So nobody is ready to pay the money, and then they are just easily adapted to. You can say that who doesn't even know what is WhatsApp, what is YouTube, what is Google Pay. Now everybody has started even in the remote places of the villages. That's good. On the other side of it, if you come to the inner transformation of a person, people always see that as an optional one. Nobody takes care that as a mandatory one when it comes to the inner transformations. So how do you see that? Personally, if I take my opinion, like even I did not take that as a mandatory one of having a transformations by eliminating the things which the unwanted packages, whatever you've been carrying for a while, and then getting into the other side of it. So how do you see that having an inner transformation as an optional one instead of a mandatory one? So that will be my final question of the session in line to the path to the transformation. What do you have taken, Jay? Over to you.
Towards the disturbance in your question, I just would like to understand your. That is.
Shall I repeat?
No, the question you have categorized.
Shall I repeat?
Yeah, please. Can you repeat?
Okay. So when we take about the digital transformation, people are easily adapted to the digital transformation by start utilizing the digital engineering concepts or whatever, the facility what available by the digital. But when it comes to the inner transformation, and people are hesitant enough to take the changes on the inner part of it. People always take that as an optional one instead of there should be a mandatory one. That's my question.
Why people are resisting their changes? No, that's the final outline. Even Google Pay, they can understand. Even using mobiles, they can understand. Whatever the latest technologies, apps, everything they use. But when it comes to inner change or inner transformation, they show resistance. That's your question. I would like to throw one more area of understanding here. If you are in a company, you resist to change. Just imagine you are in a poverty zone. If you work, food will come, next meal will come to you. There you won't be very fast enough to change. When you are middle class, able to listen?
Yeah.
Please proceed. Fine. Yeah, now you are okay. Please.
When you are in power, you work a lot. You change. It happens now. When you are in middle class, it's part. You and you be somewhat comfortable. But when you are in class and high class, you change because you are not that much. You have no need to change actually because everything is available. Why should you change? So that plays an important role. See, when I tell same stories to two people, one in poverty category and the other one is in high class category. The poverty category takes the essence better and work on it and comes out very well. The high class category, they take it very well, but they don't work because they don't have a need to work on it. They have everything. Why should they work? So the inner transformation has this direct financial side to it. So if you are in trouble, you transform quick. If you are in search for something new to achieve, you transform quick. But if you are in comfort zone, you never transform because you don't have a need to do it. I'm not complaining. You don't have a need to do it because you are well settled. Why should I change? That comes naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, got it, Jay. So finally, can you explain us about the international footprints of ZenLP? We would like to hear from you.
Yeah. See, there was a belief in me that I never wanted to travel outside India, and India is the best country. One Janma won't be enough to travel inside India. All those beliefs I was having. Almost 1 year before, there was a thought, no, why should I go out and see other countries and learning how they do. You know, there may be excellences everywhere. So how they do things differently. Still, it was a question 1 year before, but this after COVID, after 5 p.m. live, I could see a lot of new perspective from my side because I somehow knowingly or unknowingly, I start to connect people from various parts of the world, like Uma ma'am from Finland, Krishnaraj from Peru. I can understand a bit about that country, culture, everything. So now I think, why don't we, after this COVID, why don't we travel around and see world, and so that we can take it to next level. My plan for ZenLP future, there may be a representation of ZenLP Academy in every constituency. For example, we have 234 constituencies. In every constituency, there will be a representation of a structure, possibly we can say in our regular tone, like branches, correct? That's the word, branches. So there may be 234 branches of ZenLP Academy. Soon it will be coming out. And if that is the possibility, then international branches also will come out. That's how I foresee. So I'm getting ready for it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the explanation, Jay. And surprisingly, the discussion gets completed in 100 minutes. It started by 11:20 a.m. India time. It's going to be 1:10 p.m. Surprisingly, I was just looking at my clock, and then it's going to be 1 minute to get into 11. So we are in the 99th minute of a program where we talk about 7 a.m. live. So with that, I would like to conclude the session. So it was a very wonderful session for last 100 minutes, Jay. So thank you for all your valuable inputs. As you keep telling, like it's an opportunity for us to interact with you to get the other side of it so that we keep growing. And then there are some few questions posted from the viewers, and we will ensure that we'll get an offline answer from you, and then we'll post it, because for the limitation of time, we'll try to go with that. And then I'll also like to thank Kriti and Bharat for helping me offline to get this into a good note. Also, I would like to thank Premama and Krishnaraj and Uma and Sujita for making this event a successful event, as well as the viewers whoever watched this in Facebook as well as in YouTube, and people helped to complete this session in the successful note. Jay, I would like to conclude that every session, what is the takeaway of each and every session when we get into a 7 a.m. Live? Every day we come up with a quote. So this session, I always remember the quote, like every time we unlearn, we learn by unlearning ourselves. And that's the thing I used to follow. And then we becoming a go-getters for everything. And we are making our plan A as a plan B. And we are becoming a warriors rather than being an warriors. So that's the quote we have been following. So thank you so much for all your support and guidance. So as a co-traveler, we wish and we are glad across the globe, there are many fellow people who would like to admire with you, and then we would like to follow your footsteps. And then finally, let's smile, let's live as it is, we'll become like it. So thank you so much for all your time, Jay. Now I'm leaving it to Kirti for the final closure. Over to you, Kirti.
Okay. Yeah. Before Kirti says, I would like to add one more value. You said about many quotes. So I would like to share one of my secrets. Every day night when I go back to bed, before sleeping, I set 0 and then sleep. So when you set 0, next day morning you are fresh. You are coming back again with a new thought. So that's where all these creative ideas comes in. The moment you carry yourself to sleep, then you are gone. You're off.
Perfect, Jay. Got it.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Kirti, you can go ahead.
Yeah. And viewers, yeah, amazing viewers we have. Always giving energy with the cuisines. So thank you for the viewers. Without you, it won't happen anyway. So big thanks to viewers and big thanks to AA Achiever, Today Achiever, 7 a.m. live 100th day, Jay from India. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks for the great opportunity. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Love you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kirti. Thank you, Jay. Bye.